I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be resisting temptation and weakness. I've got 4 different emails I'm going to go through with you today, but before we get into it, I've got a quote of the day that I wrote for you. It says, "The best place to be in life is in a peaceful and relaxed state. This is our natural state. It is a state that feels amazing and allows us to experience the true bliss of loving our lives, ourselves, and to be grateful to the Creator for the gift of life. It is the emotional, mental, and spiritual freedom to experience the reality of the present moment and enjoy it free from doubt, worry, attachment, and lack. When we become attached to our desires, outcomes, lovers, or anything we want or have, we set ourselves up to suffer when people don't live up to our expectations of them. We lose what we have. Things don't happen like we expect them to, or things don't happen in the time frame that we expect. When you learn to practice infinite patience and continually take action towards what you want, even when there seems to be no evidence or signs that what you want is on its way to you or wants you back, only then can you live a life of true abundance and effortless passion where everything seems to show up magically right on time." So let's get into the first email. This guy says, "Hey Coach, hope you're well. Doing awesome. Thanks for fucking asking." He says, "I'm 38 and I was seeing my coworker who's 25 for around 2 months before she dramatically ended it. Normally I would cut my losses and walk away, but I really like this girl. And I've never been able to settle and have had many relationships that I've normally ended due to the fact that it hasn't felt right. But with her, I knew instantly that she was the one." I wrote an article, probably 2 years ago, called "The Myth of the One." So if you Google Corey Wayne, "The Myth of the One," read that one. I talk a little bit about it in my book. What I've learned over life is that people come into your life, they come and go. They're there for a reason. Everybody that comes into your life, even if it's just a customer that you see for a short period of time, it's like you have a gift for them and they have a gift for you. The key is not to hold on to anyone too tightly, because people that really want to be with you and want to be in your life, they'll stick around without you having to become something you're not. But when you try to hold on to somebody or bend yourself into a pretzel in order to keep them in your life, all you're going to do is suffer and make yourself miserable, because now you're no longer being yourself. You're basically being a prostitute. You're prostituting your goals, your dreams, your feelings in order to become or to be what you think the other person wants you to be, so they'll stick around in your life. Just like Stevie Wonder said, you can't live your life according to other people's expectations. Very wise words. He says, "When we met, we were both in unhappy relationships, and after seeing each other for around 4 weeks, we both decided to walk away from our partners and would be together." Ah, so you got 2 cheaters. You're a cheater and she's a cheater. Well, you reap what you sow in life, my friend. Everything was great. I mean, that's just not cool to do that to your partner, to run around and cheat on who you're with because you want to line something up before you ditch your relationship. It's just not cool. He says, "Everything was great. I was cool and laid back and casually making dates, and she was doing all the chasing and texting. Exactly the way it's supposed to be. Even telling me she loved me and was planning for our future. We went out one night after a whole day of flirting and sexting, and then she came back to my place to have sex for the first time. However, the mood changed when she discovered a pair of my ex-girlfriend's shoes, which I had forgotten to throw away when cleaning." He says, "Big fuck up, I know." If she discovered those, I would have said, "Oh yeah, those are my exes. You can throw those in the garbage if you like, or you can have them if they fit you. It's one of the only things that's left here." If she gets all crazy and starts getting pissed and butthurt, it's like, oh, come on, give me a break. I'm sure over at your place there's other things of your ex that's there. I'm not going to get all butthurt and upset about it. And if she acts like a jackass, you got to remain centered and let you know that it's not a big deal to you. But when you start apologizing and trying to justify your actions, then it usually spirals out of control. I mean, it's common sense. You break up with somebody and they move all their shit out. there's going to be probably some things that they forget. Big fucking hairy deal. Women tend to take the little problems and they make them really big. It's the man's job to take those big things and shrink them back to the small things that they are. But instead, you acted a little feminine, you became uncentered, you weren't the rock in the mountain, and things just spiraled out of control. She made me take her home immediately. I would say, look, I'm not your fucking taxi driver, and you're overreacting. I mean, look, if I had a camera and I filmed the way you're acting right now, you'd be thinking, you know what, I'm acting like a total jackass, and you would apologize to me, because this is not cool. This is totally uncalled for. I don't like how you're behaving. You're being rude, you're being disrespectful, and you're acting like a jealous jackass when you're jealous over absolutely nothing at all. So you need to chill out, chillax, come over here and kiss me and cuddle with me. We just made love. It's like, come on. Don't be a buzzkill. Well, I'm leaving. It's like, great. If you want to leave, then you go ahead and leave, and you call me when you calm down and you want to start acting like an adult, because this is drama and this is bullshit. I ain't got fucking time for this in my life. My life is a drama-free zone. If you want to communicate like an adult with me, then great. We can talk about this. But it's like, give me a break. It's like, come on. You're acting like a 5-year-old. Sometimes you have to say that. If you got a woman that's like that, you got to put her in her place. And if she leaves, she leaves. The strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. And you're communicating in a playful, teasing way that her behavior is inappropriate. But if she continues to be belligerent and a jackass and say, you need to take me home right now, it's like, I don't think so. It's like, if you're going to be this way, you can call a taxi and you can go home by yourself. It's like, this is just totally not acceptable. This totally turns me off. It makes me not want to be with you when you're going to act this way. We just got together and you're already acting like this? It's like, I don't think so. This doesn't work for me. If you want me in your life, I'm a gift. It's a privilege to be in my life. But if you're going to totally take me for granted and try to walk all over me, that doesn't work. He says, she made me take her home immediately, and she's been cold, distant, and told me she doesn't want the hassle anymore and doesn't want me. The problem is she doesn't believe I actually left my ex. Well, she's a cheater and you're a cheater, so it's understandable. Else, why would her stuff still be there? But we lived together and there were still a few items that were missed, that's all. Exactly. The problem was you let her determine the energy and the environment instead of being the king of your kingdom, the king of your domain, and being the alpha male, and laying there sitting back just like, you're being ridiculous. Give me a fucking break. Come over here and kiss me and cut this shit out. Why don't you come over here and fuck me like you hate me? He says, everything I did was wrong, and you haven't got to tell me. I chased, pursued, sent her a text. Now you're acting totally weak. Now you act like a guy who's got something to hide. Telling her I loved her and wanted her to be happy and would walk away if that's what she wanted. That is a really weak statement, dude. But asked her to call me if she changed her mind. A little bit of a redeeming value there at the end. She turned so bitter and cold and told all of my colleagues what had happened and why we had split, which I thought was totally out of order. Absolutely. That's when you pull her out aside and you go, that's just bullshit. If you got something you want to talk to me about, great. You don't need to walk around the office telling people our business, because it's none of their fucking business. Like I said, my life's a drama-free zone. And if you want to have any chance with me in the future, you're not going to act like this. And if this is the way you're going to be, then, hey, I'm fine with things being over. It was a great fling. If that's the way you want to look at it, fuck it. I can do much better. I don't need this crap in my life. Life is too short to put up with a drama queen who doesn't know how to communicate like an adult. She texted me back, calling me everything, and said the night I took her home. See, the real reason why she's being such a fucking bitch is she's trying to intimidate you, and she's doing a good job of it. What she really wants is you to stand up to her and tell her to cut the bullshit out, just like I've been saying for like the last 3 or 4 minutes of this video. But since you didn't do it, she becomes even more bitchy, because now she doesn't trust your masculine core because you're acting weak. You're letting her walk all over you and disrespect you, and you're not standing up for yourself. That doesn't create attraction at all. She didn't go to sleep but went out clubbing till 5 a.m. and said, what do you think of that? I hope you had a good time. How's that hangover doing for you? How's that hangover working for you? He said, I felt that she had been dishonest and had hurt me, but was always calm. I was always calm throughout, and said, I've never lied to her, which made her worse, until she said, let's just leave it at that. Again, that's when you say, look, I'm going to go. You need to call me when you calm down and you're ready to start acting like an adult. She'll probably hang up on you, but she'll call you later. Talking to her, but again, she was sarcastic, cold, and said, now you know what it's like to be hurt. Well, the only person that you have to blame is yourself, sweetheart, because you're getting all upset because there's a couple things still at my place after my girlfriend moved out. It's like, come on, give me a break. Last day I saw her before holiday, and I kept my distance, and that's the first time she initiated contact with me first. A quick, lighthearted 30-second chat. She's been on holiday since and hasn't texted me for a week, and has been nearly 2 weeks since the incident. That's why you don't run after her, because if you run after her, you just communicate that it's okay for her to berate you and treat you that way. That's why I say the strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. And this is totally unacceptable behavior. Aside from the fact that the two of you are cheaters and dishonest. But that's another issue. He says, Coach, I'd love to get her back, and it's playing in my mind and affecting my job, appetite, and sleep. That's why you got to let her come back to you. When she reaches out, hey, babe, great to hear from you. I'd love to see you. When are you free to get together? Just like that, you say exactly that. Make a date with her. If she won't make a date, then say, great, I'm really jammed up right now. I'd love to see you, but call me when you figure out your schedule. We'll make plans then. She'll either do it or she won't. She's had some difficult past relationships, blah, blah. Everybody's had that. She's quite fiery and stubborn. Well, she'll purr like a kitten if you stand up to her and put her in her fucking place and let her know that that's just simply not going to work. When she acts that way, you're out of there. In other words, you leave or you tell her to go home and call you when she calms down and is ready to talk and act like an adult. She was brought up in a single-parent family by her mother, and I know her ex is still harassing her to get her back, but I also know for a fact that she doesn't want him either. I feel that if I try the no contact, she would drift further away. That's part of your problem, because you're expressing weakness and you're attached. And you're tempted to call her, you're tempted to reach out, you're tempted to pursue. I've got over 1,300 videos at this point on my YouTube channel and my website, and that kind of behavior always pushes the woman away, because when a guy does that, he's acting feminine, he's acting like a woman. And it's a total turnoff. It ruins the sexual polarity. It just simply doesn't work. He says, it was only a short time when we were seeing each other, so I haven't formed a strong enough bond for her to miss me properly, if that makes sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense to chase after her. You've already tried that shit, begging, pleading. All you do is make yourself look like a weak, fucking, needy bitch. And that's not manly, that's not masculine. Your attitude needs to be, I'm a fucking catch. I'm a stud, I'm an awesome fucking guy, and I'm certainly not going to tolerate that bullshit. If she wants to see me, she can call me. I mean, at the end of the day, when you first started dating, she was calling you, texting you constantly. And then everything changed when you started running after her, acting like a woman. Totally ruined the sexual polarity, and she got all bitchy and didn't want to be around you. He says, nearly had a moment of weakness and went to send her a lighthearted text about something we used to enjoy, but I stopped myself. Good. He said, please advise, I think I've made enough mistakes. Yeah, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So don't chase after this girl. It's not going to get you anywhere. Wait for her to call you and text you, even if it's a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, who fucking cares? When she gets in touch, hey babe, it's great to hear from you. I'd love to see you. When are you free to get together? Just like that. Make a date. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. Let's get on the second email. This guy says, hey coach, here's the deal. I'm an 18-year-old freshman in college, and I was in a relationship for 4 years with a girl, my best friend. She went and attended college only about 2 hours away from me, so basically I started acting jealous and forceful and was just expressing more feminine energy than she was. Yeah, women want you to be more of a man than they are. Basically, things went to shit. That's predictable. The reason for her asking for the break was because of me. However, she insisted it was for other reasons too, such as seeing us as completely different people with different goals and futures. It's amazing, this BS excuse. Bottom line, what's really going on is you just simply turned her off by your weak, needy behavior. And she lost attraction for you. But that's what she says. Oh, we have different futures. We want different things. I believe it was because she started to develop feelings for another guy that she rebounded with him right after we broke up. This guy was the reason for my jealousy, and my fear came true. Go figure. What you fear, you attract, and what you look at disappears. You chasing her and pursuing her and acting like you were unworthy drove her right into the arms of another man. Good job. But obviously you learned a lesson painfully. Pain is weakness leaving the body, my friend. Fast forward, she's recently told me that she wants nothing to do with him but a friendship, but he will keep trying to get with her, and that I know. A couple of weeks went by, and I saw her, listen to her talk, and basically ended up right back in her bed at the end of the night. Imagine that. The strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. And you walked away, you let her experience whatever she's going to experience with the other guy, because 97% of dudes out there don't know this shit, and they don't understand it. What did he do? He drove her right back into your arms, and you into her bed. How nice. How easy and effortless. This has happened about 3 times in the past month, even though we are still separated. Let go of the relationship talk, dude. Your job as a man is 3 simple things. The 3 H's. Hang out, have fun, hook up. That's it. The relationship and the commitment and bonding and connection and love, that's all feminine energy. That's her responsibility. Your job is to court her and lead the interaction to a successful conclusion of happy finishes for both of you in the bedroom. So at first I was being the needy, possessive bitch, calling and texting her. Then I figured out all that I was doing, further facilitating the breakup and the reasons for it. Well, good for you for accepting your responsibility in the breakup and admitting your mistakes. A lot of guys have trouble with that. I gave her the speech about not wanting to be friends and giving her the option to call me when she changed her mind. So I basically put the brakes on that, and she promised she would contact me. She only made it about 2 days. Imagine that. Look what happens when... I was talking to a client the other day, and he was just totally shocked that his girlfriend, that he thought was going to take weeks to come back, literally in a matter of days, did the same thing, just purring like a kitten. It's amazing. When you get into your masculine, you start acting like a man, brings her right back. We talk sparingly, and they always only come back, though, when there's still attraction and interest there. That's a little caveat for you. And she always told me how much she was in love with me and how she sees us together in the future. Wait, this is the same girl that said we want different things a few paragraphs ago. Imagine that. Attraction level overrides everything. When you act like a man, it's amazing. Everything goes out the fucking window. I went up to her school this past weekend to take her on a date. She told me I would not be sleeping with her. Yeah, if I had a fucking dollar for every time I've heard that shit. But with the mindset similar to that of James Bond, wonder where he got that from, I ended up sleeping with her. Sly grin and all when I told her that it would happen. It was simply out of her control. That's what James Bond does when a woman says, "There's no way you're getting my pants." He just goes, "I'll have a martini, shaken, not stirred." So basically, we were back to the point of talking like normal, just as we had previously when we were in a relationship, and without all the jealous, possessive love BS on my behalf. As she is free to do what she wants, with who she wants, just as I am. I'm basically looking for the answer as to what I should be doing next. Making dates with other women, dude. You're fucking young, you're 18. It's like, come on, dude. You're at college. Fucking party like a rock star. You need to rock out with your cock out, dude. Obviously strap a raincoat on that bad boy before you dip it in any strange. I want to get back with her and be exclusive. But I feel like I'm giving her what she wants as we are talking throughout the day. Well, as long as she's the one calling and texting you. I plan on taking her on 2 dates. You should plan on taking her on your next date. Just like in any professional sports team, they're focusing on their next opponent. They're not thinking about the playoffs. They always say, well, we got a game tomorrow. We got a game this week. And that's who we're focusing on. And that's what you should be focusing on, is just making your next date, your next definite date, and staying the hell away from her until you get together. Hang out, have fun, and hook up when you get together. Simply because we are on break from school this week. Again, that's more of you trying to lock her down and pin her down. Don't do that. That's counterproductive. And letting her do most of the talking and all that. Well, that's good. I can tell you've been paying attention, but I know it's hard because you really like this girl. He says, I mean, is this simply all I can be doing? Yep. Why would you want to fucking complicate it, dude? You're having sex with her after she blew you off. It's like, hello. And I know it is. You're like, it's like, your brain's like scrambling, like, it can't be this easy. Well, it is. This is what happens when you act like a man. Women that like you respond this way. This is your birthright. This is the way the Creator made you. He's not stupid. God knows what He's doing. The key to everything in life is really fucking simple. But we tend to complicate things. He says, I know the neediness and the need of wanting to lock her down, I guess, in a sense, is still on my mind. You think? Will it just happen when it happens? Exactly. And if it doesn't happen, who fucking cares? You're 18. If you had something special with her, guess what? You can have something even more special with somebody else. There's 6.5 billion people on this planet, and half of them are women. If you went out on a different date with every hot girl that you had a chance with, the rest of your life, you'd never be able to date everyone that likes you and who you like. Hello? I really appreciate all your information you put out there for everyone. I've watched probably about 30 of your videos within a week, and I intend on getting your book. You need to read the book, dude, 10 to 15 times. You can't shortcut that shit. Don't be substituting the videos for the book. It's only fucking $10 on Amazon. And for those of you that can't afford $10, you can subscribe to the email newsletter on my website, and you can read it for free in the members area. It's like, hello. Thanks for all the help you've already offered me, and I look forward to your response. Well, it's like you're doing good. Just let her come to you and make dates. It's really simple. So let's get into the third email. This guy says, hey Corey, I want to thank you for all the insight you've given me through your videos and book. I feel like I'm moving in a positive direction when I listen to and I read your work. I'm 20 years old and in college, and unfortunately I met this girl before I discovered your work. I met this girl in my anatomy class this semester who I could tell was interested in me. She always tried to talk to me and even invited me to her dorm room a few times. We would go into her dorm to study, he puts in quotes. Yeah, you were studying the cunnilingus. But we always ended up making out. She would tell me she liked kissing me and other things that I liked to hear. After watching your videos, I realized that we conversed way too much via text and I should have just been setting dates. Yep. Hang out, have fun, hook up. That's part of being decisive and making decisions. That's what men do. Being direct. Get right to the fucking point. Because women won't do that. They'll just talk in circles and talk in circles, and then when you don't make something happen, they'll roll their eyes and like, okay, where's the next guy that gets it? So he says, I also was pursuing her too much and trying to make her my girlfriend. Yeah, that dude is definitely a bad way to go. I realize now I should have just focused on hooking up and staying on my purpose rather than pursuing so much. Yeah, the right ratio is about 70 to 80% of the calling, texting, and pursuing should be initiated by her. When the guy does any more than 20 to 30%, she never will fall in love. It's like when I do phone sessions with guys, he's like, yeah, I've been dating this girl for 5 months and she's not in love with me yet. And I ask him, how much calling, texting, pursuing has she been initiating? Well, it's about 50-50. There's your problem, dude. It's a scientific fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. Love, bonding, connecting, that's feminine energy. That's why women do all the reaching out. And so when you act like a man's supposed to act, it's not that you're a cold fish. It's just they're naturally going to instinctively want to talk to you and connect and bond more. He says, soon she started acting distant, but by then I had found your work and backed off from her as I realized I was coming on too strong. I waited for her to contact me, which was a couple of weeks later. Once a week during these weeks I would see her in class and always be friendly, which she reciprocated, but I did not see the same look in her eyes. Think of it like baking a cake. That's what sexual attraction is like. You put it in the oven and it's going to take however long it's going to take. You can't keep opening the door every 5 minutes because you let the heat out and you dissipate all the sexual attraction or the sexual anticipation. She finally texted me inviting me to study with a group of people, which I couldn't make because of the work. Good. The process of seduction is to get closer and closer to a woman until you end up inside of her. I wouldn't do group dates unless she's your girlfriend. He says, I did, however, study and have lunch with her a few days later. And no lunches in the evening. In the evenings that can lead to sex, dude. The entire time I was with her, I was trying to gather the strength to tell her that I did not want to be her study buddy slash friend. Well, it's not necessary to do that when you're with her. Just make the move when it's appropriate. But you went to lunch, and so it's kind of like you acquiesced to the friendship vibe she was putting out. Remember, she wants you to be a man and stand up for and be bold and go for what you want. But it's like when you hang out and you're too timid to make a move, you're in essence acting like a woman. That's not attractive. Women don't find that sexy when a guy is weak and afraid, because they can see in your eyes that you want to kiss them. It's like, fucking make it happen, dude. I wanted to hold her and kiss her, but I could not do it. You bitched out. It happens to all of us. But you're young, you're in college, so you're entitled to fuck up like that. I talk to guys that are in their 50s and 60s and they're still doing the same shit, acting like a teenager. Every man has to overcome it at some point in his life. He says, instead, I texted her saying that the study buddy friend thing was not going to work for me, and that if she ever feels different, to give me a call. She responded saying that she did not know what she wanted with relationships right now, and that I could still study with her, which I don't want to do because I don't want to put myself in this friend spot, and that it seems she's trying to put me in. I know my ignorance and fear screwed me big time, and I want to be better than this. I really appreciate your opinion. I know I'm a great guy, and I'm just not polished when it comes to handling these situations correctly. Thank you, Corey. You are improving lives. Sure. So this is what I would do. Nothing. When she reaches out, hey, what are you up to? I'd love to see you. When are you free to get together? Sure, you can study, but it needs to be in the evening. Get together, maybe you show up with a couple beverages, a couple frothy beverages, or whatever it is that you guys like to drink. If you don't have to be a drinker, but you're in college, that's what most people do when they're in college. Hang out, have fun, hook up. I mean, you used to kiss her and do all those things when you were together before. Be that same guy. It's not like you forgot how to do it, but you got to be bold and you got to go for it. 2 steps forward, 1 step back when you encounter resistance, and eventually seduce her. Get past just kissing and make love to this girl. Make sure you bring some condominiums with you so you can strap on a love glove and have a good time. And then this way you'll have some really kick-ass memories from college. So let's get into the 4th and final email. This guy says, hey coach, I must say I've recently stumbled upon your work and I'm blown away by all the mistakes I've been making with nearly every relationship I've had in my life by being a needy, insecure jackass by thinking I was showing unconditional love like all of the fairy tale movies. Well, that's why they call it make-believe. It's fake. It's not reality. Currently, I'm in an on-again, off-again relationship with a girl who I've known for about 1.5 years. And like most of the guys you hear from, things seem to be extraordinarily amazing at first. She initially pursued me relentlessly and got us to the point where she would always bring up us getting married and our future together. And then slowly over time, it went to shit. And we broke up this past April after being together for 8 months, which of course was a shock to me. Yeah, most guys are totally blindsided by that. He says, I can't say with certainty that it is because she felt smothered. We were moving way too fast, and I was too needy and insecure, and now she tells me she has commitment issues. Well, that's a nice excuse, commitment. I have commitment issues. In other words, what she's really saying is, I have commitment issues with you because you're kind of fucking smothering me. You're making me feel like I'm losing my freedom, and therefore I feel like I gotta get the fuck out. Because when I met you, you were acting like a man, and now it's like dating another woman with a penis. He says, because committing makes her feel controlled and that she can't believe she was all about marrying me because she's never been like that. Sure. Since then, we've tried to get back together multiple times, and it usually happens that after I've taken myself out of the picture for a few weeks, she'll start texting, calling, wanting to see me like crazy, and tells me she doesn't want to be without me. Remember, just like that app called Snapchat, how like the pictures and your text and everything like disappears after 10 seconds, women's emotions are like that. In other words, it only applies the moment that she tells you that. Just because she said she loved you 6 months ago, it doesn't apply right now. She loved you 6 months ago when she told you that. So if she used to tell you that all the time and she's not telling you now, what does that mean? It means she ain't in love with you right now. It means she ain't feeling it. He says, eventually we'll get together and then hang out, have fun, and hook up. A lot, usually multiple times a week. Probably too much. Well, as long as she's pursuing you and you're making dates, if she calls you and reaches out and you make a date and you're seeing each other every other day, that's okay. Because she's reaching out to you. She's pursuing you. It's her idea. For a few weeks before, I start to get insecure and she'll leave again or is talking to other guys and then bring up relationship talk. After that, our little flings always seem to end abruptly. Once again, love, bonding, connection, relationships, dating and relationship labels, boyfriend, girlfriend, it's all feminine energy. It's a woman's department. When a guy brings it up, he in essence is acting like a woman. There's another example. It doesn't fucking work, so don't do it. I know you see that bullshit in the movie all the time, and some women, a small fraction of them, will say, well, the man should do it. Bull fucking crap. Her interest seems to fall below 50% and she becomes extremely flaky, which I know is now a direct result of my actions. Good. Now you're learning. Good job, dude. Since we've broken up in April, she's seen an ex of hers who she now talks to frequently but lives in a different state and has dated a couple of other guys for brief periods. I've also went out with a few girls, but I am continually hung up on this one like an ass. Like you say, power of the pussy, man. It must be good pussy. He says, at this moment, we're in week 4 of another try, and again, I brought up the relationship talk about 2 weeks ago, and since we've only hung out once for a couple of times for a few hours, when just before that she was all over me, even taking me around to her family again, who I have awesome relationships with. See, everything's going great, and you start talking about relationships. He's like, I gotta lock her down. I can't help myself. You're like the fucking monkey in the zoo, jerking off and throwing its jizz and its feces at the people in the zoo. Can't help yourself. Hell, she even told me the last time, I just want to hang out and have fun with my best friend, me, and not worry about your girly emotions. See, when women really like you, they make it easy for you. They even tell you what to do, but how often do men listen? How many of the ladies are watching this go, guys never fucking listen? Let me read that statement again. Hell, she even told me the last time, I just want to hang out and have fun with my best friend and not worry about your girly emotions. She's basically saying, stop acting like a fucking girl. Act like a man. Let me wonder about your emotions. Remember, it's a scientific fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. Haha, she's told me things like that for as long as I can remember, and now after reading half of your book and watching countless videos of yours, I'm so pissed I've been the needy, girly bitch in the relationship. That was then, this is now, and that's the beauty of masculine and feminine energy, is that you can fucking turn it on a dime. When you get in your masculine, she'll instantly transform into feminine, sexy, submissive, playful kitten because now you're acting like a man and she likes that. It makes her feel comfortable, makes her feel like she can trust your core and allow you to take the lead. When we're together and able to just enjoy each other's amazing company, we always have incredible times. She's super loving and we always have amazing sex. He puts in big letters. Good for you, dude. Stop trying to complicate shit by acting like a woman. She even told you that. I mean, she's really making it easy for you. Despite all your fuck-ups, you still got a chance with this girl. She obviously really digs you. You just do it for her. Attraction's not a choice. But when you act like a woman, getting turned off is not a choice either. The problem is that after a few weeks of hanging out again, I get anxious and want to tie her down, and my emotions and my love for this girl get the best of me, and I fall back in this same old trap of always being available, wondering where I stand, and being her manservant. I feel like if I could just go with the flow, you can, but you're simply choosing not to. And what's the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It's like 2 or 3 times here in your email, when you start acting like a woman and getting focused in the relationship, what happens? She fucking hauls ass on you and blows you off. She drops you faster than a cheap habit. Or faster than a bad habit, I should say. He says, I feel like if I could just go with the flow, as she says, and not worry about losing her to other guys, we would, over time, get back to where she was a few months ago. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll continue to get what you've always got. If you're tired of this fucking yo-yo and this roller coaster, you need to be consistent in your behaviors. I am naturally an alpha male in every sector of my life except when it comes to relationships with women I fall hard for, Like some of the guys you talk about in your book. I'm a former Marine, Semper Fi Marine. Thank you for your service, brother. And I have an excellent career while I'm always in a leadership role and a father of a 4-year-old girl who loves me tremendously. Your little girl deserves to see daddy acting like the fucking badass motherfucking Marine tip of the spear that he is. Why? Because then she'll know what to go for when she becomes old enough to date and become in relationships. You acting like a woman ain't helping her. She'll go out and date weird fucking squirrely guys and have all kinds of problems. And do you want to see the little baby girl when she grows up and becomes a teenager to come home every night crying her eyes out because she keeps dating fucking pussies that break their hearts? I don't think so. Yet when I get into a serious relationship with a girl, I always end up giving way too much and being a doormat, and I'm fucking sick of it. Well, in a combat scenario, when do Marines let people push them around? Doesn't fucking happen, bro. This is natural to you. You already know how to do this. I really do love and care deeply for this girl, and I'd love to see us get back to the point where we can seriously work on our relationship, but I have no clue where to start. I'd like to book a Skype session with you, but I'm curious if you recommend I read your entire book multiple times first. Ideally, at least one time. Any advice you can give me will be greatly appreciated, and I fully anticipate you ripping my ass. Well, that's another reason why I love Marines. They get it. They tear you down and they build you right back up. I love your work, and you've already helped me a ton. Thanks, Coach. Yeah, so if you want to book a phone, Skype, or email coaching with me, go to my website right now. Ideally, it'd be nice if you'd read the book because it'll save us some time, but if you need to talk to me right now, I'm usually like a week out. Go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book whether it's a phone, Skype, or email coaching, whichever option works good for you. And I will talk to you soon.